You might be curious about federal contracts, and perhaps you've been asking yourself the question, how do I begin to bid on these contracts? Just last year, the Biden and Harris administration allocated $178 billion to small businesses alone. Are you going to have a piece of the pie? Today, I'm going to be talking about bidding on federal contracts with AI tools in 2024, and this is going to be a step by step guide. This is for the people who are looking to do this without having to deal with the paperwork. And my promise for you in this video are in three folds. Number one, you're going to learn about the different types of federal solicitations. And perhaps with this knowledge, you're going to have the ability to make a decision on where you want to put your eggs. Would it be a sources sought? Would it be an RFP? You'll be able to make that decision by the end of this video. Number two, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to generate industry specific keywords. When we talk about searching on sam.gov for solicitations that suit our company's strengths, people ask the question, how do I search? Well, a lot of people talk about using NAICS codes, but I completely disagree with only using NAICS codes. You can also use industry specific keywords to broaden your search. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that in this video as well. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to break down a federal solicitation to meet your understanding. We know that federal solicitations are usually full of compliance language and lots of jargon. You want to bring it down to meet your understanding using AI tools. Okay, and we're almost at 3,000 subscribers, and I know we're going to get there before the end of this month. So this is why you should tell your friend and tell their friend to come in and subscribe to the channel. But on the 28th of September 2024, we're going to be having a free seminar. So you can register for this free seminar with the link in the description. In this free seminar, there are three things that we're going to be covering. Number one, I'm going to show you how every government contractor can break down solicitations using ChatGPT. I'm also going to show you three fast ways to find subcontractors. And lastly, we're going to discuss how every government contractor can enhance their technical statement for winning bids. If you want to be part of this, you can register with the link in the description. If you want to have results like this, or like this, then I highly recommend that you join our school community with the link in the description below. But guys, let's get into the video for today. These are the three problems that small businesses face when pursuing federal contracts. The first one is just confusion about navigating and understanding the wide variety of federal contracts and their requirements. Like I said, one of the difficult aspects of this is picking your industry. And even after picking your industry, how do you search the sam.gov interface in the most effective way to actually pull out the contracts that are within your industry? There's one example I often give, and it's with waste management. There's a separate NAICS code for waste management, recycling, toxic waste management, hazardous waste management. If you are in the industry of waste management and you want to have the ability to connect to adjacent industries within waste management, then you have to do away with the NAICS codes and start using industry keywords. I know those were a lot of words, and perhaps for some of you, I may have lost you, but closer to the end of the video, I'm going to show you how you can start to connect to adjacent industries by using industry keywords. The second big problem that small businesses face is the difficulty in identifying relevant keywords for federal contracting opportunities, making it challenging to target the right solicitation. A bit more about what I just said prior. If you find the right keywords, you're going to have the ability to find other hidden contracts that people who only focus on NAICS codes are looking at. And the third thing is that they're typically overwhelmed with the lack of clarity when reading complex government solicitations. And this hinders their ability to submit a proposal response that is aligned to the needs of the government agencies. And these problems are problems that I want to help you to begin to weed out, starting with this video and perhaps ending in our community or in our inner circle, all depending on you. But do you remember this guy? Just take a good look at this guy on the screen right now. Does this face ring a bell? Maybe, maybe not. How about this one? This might be a more popular face to you. But this is Leonardo DiCaprio, and he plays Jordan Belford, which is this guy over here. Jordan Belford wrote the book The Wolf of Wall Street, The Straight Line System. And many people might say he's a criminal. Many people might say that he's a great salesperson. I'm not here to talk about any of that. What I'm going to be talking about is something that he outlined in his book, The Straight Line Sale, where he talks about the three types of customers. Jordan Belford talks about three types of customers, and you're going to see why this information is going to be useful in a moment. The first type of customer that he talks about are the looky lows. Okay, these individuals are usually browsing without a strong intention of buying anything. They might be interested in your product or service, but they're not actively looking to make a purchase. Okay, these are the most challenging customers to deal with. For anyone who has worked in sales, when you meet these customers, they typically have low interest levels and they require a significant amount of persuasion to move them to a buying decision. And I would argue that even having to persuade them to make that buying decision is going to be a waste of your time. These are the kinds of customers that I would advise you to keep your eyes away from. But then the other type of customers that Jordan Belford talks about are the buyers in power. Now, these customers have the potential to buy, but not urgently or immediately. In fact, the best way I can describe these types of customers are these are the customers that are not yet feeling the pain of not having your product or your service. They are not in pain from not having your product or service. The pain is 6 months away. The pain is 12 months away. And the best way to identify these customers is when you ask them, like, okay, so are you ready to make a purchase? They'll tell you, nah, I'm just shopping around. These people are shopping around. They are called buyers in power because they have the means and the authority to make a purchase decision, but they may need more information, they may need more reassurance, or in fact, they may need more time before they commit. Effective persuasion and addressing their concerns can convert them into buyers. My urge to you, for anybody who is in sales and thinking like, how do I deal with a buyer in power? What you want to do is you want to accentuate the pain that is coming in the future. You need to let them know that not having this product or service is going to bring about this pain, and you want to bring that pain from a 12-month time frame to a 2-month time frame so they can see the urgency. But the third type of buyer that Jordan Belford talks about is buyers in heat. Now, these are customers who are highly motivated and ready to buy immediately. Okay, these people are already feeling the pain of not having your product or service. They are already in pain and they have a strong need or desire for your product or service, and they're looking for a quick solution. These buyers are the easiest to close, and that's because they are already convinced and they just need a little bit of a nudge. My recommendation when speaking to these types of buyers would go as follows: do not talk too much about the pain, but talk about reducing the pain. They are already in pain. Talk about reducing the pain. So these are the three types of buyers. But let's bring this back to government contracting, because you might be asking yourself, what kind of customer is the government? And I wish I could give you a very straightforward answer and say, well, the government, well, obviously they're buyers in power, or obviously they're buyers in heat. But it's not as straightforward as that, because when you go into government procurement, you're going to see different types of solicitations. And each solicitation tells you what state of buying the government is currently in. Okay. So about, it's about the notice types that you pick. Let's look at sources sought, for example. The sources sought are usually used by the government agencies to gather information about potential vendors and their capability. Sources sought is about gathering information. They are seeking to find out information, but they're not seeking to buy. When you read a sources sought solicitation, one thing you're going to find is that it says it clearly. This is not going to end up in a win. No company is going to be awarded this contract. So I ascribe the sources sought to looky lows. You're not going to get anything out of it in terms of cash in your pocket. However, there are advantages of filling out sources sought. So I'm not going to discuss those advantages in this video because I want to lean towards where we're going to be putting most of our energy. But this is the information about sources sought that you need. The next thing you're going to want to be looking at would be RFIs. An RFI, it's an acronym for request for information. And I consider this the buyers in power because RFIs are used to collect detailed information about potential solutions and vendors. While not an immediate purchase would happen, the agency is seriously considering options and gathering specific data to inform their future procurement decision. So this is like a buyer who tells you, "Well, I'm shopping around right now." They're collecting information from potential vendors to inform their future procurement decision. And I hope this is clear so far. If this video is giving you any value, you can like, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can join our school community. But this is where a lot of your energy is going to be going to with regards to government solicitations. It's going to be RFPs. It's going to be updated combined synopsis, updated solicitations. You might be asking why. Well, RFPs and IFBs. An IFB is an invitation for bids. These have a clear requirement and are seeking qualified vendors to submit proposals or bids for a specific project or service. They have clear requirements and they're looking for people who could meet those requirements. At this point, the government is looking to make a purchase. At this point, the government is a buyer in heat. They are currently feeling the pain of not having that product or service, and they're looking to ease that pain. And this is where the middleman or your small business comes in to fill that pain. In order to fill that pain, you need to show them that you have the ability to fill that pain. And in order to do that, you need to submit a compliant proposal. Okay. Now, I'm going into the next part of the video where I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to generate industry keywords. I'm also going to show you how to break down a federal solicitation to meet your understanding. And in that part of the video is going to be less talking and it's going to be more showing. See you on the other side. All right. Welcome to the other side. First thing we're going to be talking about is industry specific keywords and how to generate industry specific keywords with ChatGPT. So let's talk about industry keywords that enhance your search on sam.gov. First of all, I decided I'm going to pick 3 industries, okay? And before I even go into all of this, let me start with this disclaimer. You see this website over here? This is sam.gov. In case you didn't know, this is where the federal government puts together all their needs for small businesses to come in and bid on those solicitations and possibly win contracts. Now, the thing about this website is that it's not well optimized. It's a good website, it's fair, but it's not optimized to the point where I could go into search and type in waste management or waste, and then all the contracts that I get in front of me are actually about waste management. It's not that perfect. And that's why using industry keywords helps you to kind of close the gap of the errors that you're experiencing on this website. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to begin the process of picking your industry and creating industry keywords that you could begin to use to search sam.gov with more efficacy. Okay, let's go. I decided to pick 3 industries: waste management, professional services, and document destruction. Now, there's something you can do here. You can literally copy. I just copied these 3 industries and I can ask ChatGPT to give me the NAICS codes for these industries. And then I paste them. Oh, okay. So I have to go back and copy these properly. Copy, and then here they are. So ChatGPT knew that there was something wrong. It said, please provide the industries for which you need NAICS codes, and I will provide them. So in terms of waste management, now this is the problem that I was initially addressing. You see, you can't say that you're in waste management and pick only one NAICS code because you're going to be limited to perhaps hazardous waste collection. So here we have four NAICS codes for waste management. In order for you to effectively connect with two or more of these NAICS codes, you can only do that using industry keywords. So professional service, we have a couple of NAICS codes there. So now what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do is generate three industry keywords for waste management that will allow me connect to all the NAICS codes under waste management. Don't mind my spelling. Let's go. So this prompt is going to then create some industry specific keywords that allow me to connect to other contracts under waste management. Now that it has done it the first time, I'm going to say, do this for the other two industries. So it's going to do this for the other two industries, and the other two industries being professional services and document destruction. So here we have NAICS codes for them. Now, what does the instruction say? First thing, we're going to pick our industries. So we picked three industries. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to generate keywords for these industries. So now we've generated keywords for the industries. I've hit my free plan limit for ChatGPT 4.0. Okay, so I need to get my plus ready. Cool. Now let's get those industry specific keywords. The first one we got here were waste disposal, waste collection, and waste treatment. So I'm going to grab those three keywords and I'm going to put them here. And then for professional services, we got the keywords management, consulting, advisory services, business solutions. I'm going to throw them in here. And then as far as document destruction, I got shredding services, secure disposal, record destruction. I'm going to throw that in here. Now, after you've picked these industry keywords, this is not the end. You're going to want to do something here. You're going to want to pick the industry keywords with the highest volume. And the reason you're doing this is so you can have enough to search throughout like a 2 or 3 month period, as opposed to something that can be done in about 2 to 3 days. So the way to check if these keywords have enough volume is literally to add them into your search bar on sam.gov and put down how much volume they have. So here we have the first one, which is waste disposal. We have a volume here of 460. So we can say that waste disposal is a viable keyword that we can pursue. Okay. Now we're going to go into the next keyword, waste collection. When we go into waste collection, I'm going to put it into the search bar. We can see that waste collection has 205 results, which tells me that this is a viable keyword that we can pursue. I'm going to go back into the keywords. I'm going to look at waste treatment, and I'm going to put waste treatment into our search bar. And with waste treatment, what I can see here is that we have about 152 results, which tells me that waste treatment is a viable keyword that we can pursue. Okay, so this is how I check the volume, and I can go in and guys, listen, this is not a perfect interface. So you're going to see contracts that don't have anything to do with waste within these keywords, but we're using the keywords as a yardstick to say, okay, we know that there's volume within this keyword, so I don't have to play the guessing game when it's time for me to begin my federal procurement search. Okay, so now I'm seeing this contract here is due on the 24th of September. It's an updated solicitation. I'm moving now from creating the industry keywords, and we can just do a quick recap. I showed you how to select your industry. I showed you how to generate keywords within the industry, and I showed you how to check for the volume for each keyword so you can make a decision on whether that particular keyword is worthy of your pursuit. Now we're going into how you can break down any federal solicitation with the 5-step beginner friendly solicitation breakdown guide. And listen, you can stop watching the video right now if you do not have the ability to copy and paste. This is going to leave you confused. But if you can copy and paste, then keep watching the video. And by the way, If you're getting any value from the video at this point, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the community. I'm going to go into breaking down this hazardous waste removal solicitation. Now, just a few things that come to mind when I look at this solicitation. I'm trying to find out, is this like a simple service-based type of solicitation? The description is not looking too crazy, and we don't have too many. Oh, we do have a lot of attachments actually, but let me see. Are there amendments here? Like waste disposal list. Okay, there are a couple of things, but it seems like it might be voluminous, but it may not be as a result of just having too many amendments or how big the contract is. But we can find out because I'm going to download all of this and I'm going to put it into ChatGPT. Let's see. Okay, so we have a description here. I'm just going to grab this description first. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT to break this down into simple language. So let's see. So the amendment, there's an amendment. So added answers to vendor questions. So there are vendor questions that have been answered. Includes the OSHA waste disposal list. Extended the deadline for quote submission. So we have a new submission date of the 24th of September. So this is something that has been going on for a while. The original date for quotes was incorrectly stated. The correct date is the 20th of December. Okay, so at this point, I'm just showing you how do you get a high level understanding of the description. I'm going to go ahead and download these attachments like so. I'm going to download these attachments. Those are the questions that were asked. I'm seeing the amendment document. I don't need to download the wage determination, but I do need the PWS, the evaluation criteria, and those are the question and answer logs, subcontracting plan and templates. Right. Here we are. We're going to start by attaching the document into ChatGPT like so. Initially, my ChatGPT was down, but now I got it responding again. Okay, let's see how many attachments I added in there. That's a lot. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including log sheets. Now, in order to break this down, all you need to do is go into the beginner-friendly solicitation breakdown guide, which, by the way, you can get this. It's available in our school community. It's free. You don't have to pay anything for it. And begin to copy and paste into your chat GPT to find out exactly what's going on here. And this is to really give a high level. So here are the details of the solicitation based on the documents you provided. One, the title is Hazardous Waste Disposal at OSHA Salt Lake Technical Center, and we can see that this is for the Department of Labor. Department of Labor. So this is a summary of the solicitation. It says that this solicitation is for hazardous waste disposal services at the OSHA Salt Lake Technical Center. Okay. So the contractor will be responsible for removing, packing, labeling, and disposing of hazardous materials, including batteries, electronics, old respirators, and various hazardous chemicals. The service must ensure compliance with federal and state laws, ensuring proper chain of custody and legal documentation for hazardous waste and dangerous goods shipments. Okay, so the contract includes one base year with four option periods, totaling up to 5 years of service. The service or the contractor must meet the standards defined by the performance work statement and expected to conduct the removal services 2 or 4 times annually at the SLTC. So this is going to be 2 or 4 times annually, one base year with an option 4 years in the industry of or with a title of hazardous waste disposal. So this first prompt gives you a high level summary. The next prompt goes a bit deeper into some of the requirements and what the work is about. And guys, as you can see, all I'm doing here is really just copying and pasting and gaining information. And with the information I gain, I'm going to have the ability to make a decision on whether this is worth pursuing. Now, eligibility requirements, obviously, there's going to be certifications and qualifications. So contractors must meet the DOT and the IATA training requirements for the transportation of dangerous goods. Fantastic. The contractor must also ensure that personnel and certified to ship hazardous materials and dangerous goods. So we have key personnel, we have experience. What are the key deliverables? So there's waste removal reports, shipping reports, quality control plans, and annual and periodic disposal services. Now you can see the objectives of the contract as well. These prompts are engineered to pull out this kind of information to help you make a better decision on how you would like to proceed moving forward. Now, the third prompt is one of my favorites actually because it gives you the documents required. So, the third prompt that talks about submission instructions gives you the documents required to submit a bid for this. So, by the way, guys, this is a step-by-step copy and paste process. You can get this document on the school community. It's free. But check this out, guys. This is really important. It says proposal format. Proposal should follow format as follows: 8.12 by 11 with at least one margin on all sides. Front page, 12 point or larger. Font size for graphics and tables can be smaller, but no less than 10 pt. By the way, this information is coming straight out of the solicitation, and this one is extremely specific, more specific than many of the other contracts that we've broken down together. Executive summary, it says 2 pages. Technical approach, 25 pages. Volume 3, 5 pages. Past performance. Volume 4, no limitation. Volume 5, business subcontracting plan, no limitation. Guys, if you were ever wondering, okay, what should my proposal look like? You have a table of content right before you right now because you know exactly what they want down to the page numbers. And for many of my clients who we've sat down to write proposals, we've never written a technical approach of 25 pages. So it's important. Like, these guys give you exactly what they want. What's the proposal submission? It needs to be submitted electronically. The email subject line should follow this format. Guys, they told you exactly what they want the email subject line to be. Each section of the proposal should be submitted as a separate document. This is extremely specific. Price proposal should be submitted as an Excel file. Important notice: unnecessarily elaborate proposals, such as those with elaborate artwork, expensive paper, or excessive documentations, are not desired. They don't want your elaborate decorations, your elaborate documents, wallpaper. Proposal should only focus on clearly and effectively addressing the requirements. Guys, I don't think I need to say much. They've told you exactly what they want. If you start asking questions like, what type of insurance do I need? Well, you know that we're probably not talking about the same contract. This is how you break down solicitations to find out exactly what you're going to need to submit in order to win this particular contract. With that being said, guys, subscribe to the channel, like this video, join our school community, and meet me at the 29th of September, where we're going to have our training. You can register with the link below. That being said, guys, cheerio. Bye.